They say fame burns brightest just before it fades. No one embodied that truth more than the Kid. LAROI once hailed as the prodigy who'd carry hip-hop into a new era. He vanished from the spotlight almost overnight. Fans are still asking what really happened to the Kid who had the world in his hands. Was it fame? Betrayal? Or something much darker? Because behind the smiles, the awards, and the collabs with the biggest names in the game, whispers began to surface. Studio fights, broken promises, secret feuds. People close to LAROI claim they saw it coming, that he was spiraling long before the headlines stopped mentioning his name. Some say he walked away on his own terms, while others swear he was forced out by powerful figures in the industry. And then there's the rumor that he didn't disappear. He was silenced. Tonight, we pull back the curtain on the mystery that's rocked fans worldwide. From late-night breakdowns to shocking betrayals within his inner circle. This is the untold story of how the Kid LAROI disappeared from hip-hop, and why those who know the truth are too scared to speak it. All began with a single post that vanished almost as quickly as it appeared. A cryptic Instagram story, a few blurry photos, and one sentence that sent fans into chaos. "I can't do this anymore." That was the last anyone heard from the Kid LAROI before his entire social media presence disappeared overnight. No tweets, no videos, no appearances. The kid who couldn't stop trending was suddenly nowhere to be found. People thought it was a publicity stunt at first. Maybe he was teasing a new album or pulling one of those dramatic disappearances that rappers love before a big drop. But days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. The music world waited, confused, restless, and slowly worried. Because this wasn't the LAROI fans knew. This wasn't the smiling kid who'd conquered the charts alongside his mentor, the late Juice WRLD. This was someone breaking apart in silence. Rumors started spreading like wildfire. Some said he'd gotten into a fight with his management. Others claimed his label was hiding something. One insider from his team, who spoke only on condition of anonymity, told a gossip blog that LAROI had been emotionally drained and mentally cornered by the industry. He wanted to quit months before anyone knew, the insider said. But every time he tried, someone reminded him how much money was on the line. It wasn't just about the money, though. There was tension, real, raw, and ugly. Behind closed doors, LAROI's team had been pushing him to evolve his sound, to become more mainstream, more pop, more marketable. But LAROI wanted to stay true to his roots, to the hip-hop that raised him. Arguments got heated. Voices were raised. People walked out of meetings. One witness recalled a night at the studio in Los Angeles where LAROI reportedly threw his phone against the wall and yelled, "You're all trying to turn me into something I'm not." And then came the betrayal that nobody saw coming. A leaked recording surfaced online, posted anonymously to Reddit, and later deleted, in which two voices believed to be members of LAROI's management team were heard mocking him. They called him a kid with too many feelings, said he was replaceable, and hinted at signing someone hungrier. The clip spread like wildfire. Fans were furious, calling it proof that the people around LAROI were using him. Hashtags like #Justice for LAROI and #BringBackLAROI trended for days. His closest friends tried to reach out. One of them, an old mate from Sydney named Josh, told a small Australian podcast that he'd tried calling LAROI multiple times, but his number had changed. "It was like he vanished," Josh said. "He deleted everyone, even me, and we were brothers." Then, the tabloids began to dig into his personal life. LAROI had always been open about his relationship with his girlfriend, but something shifted just before his disappearance. Insiders claimed the two had a major argument after LAROI accused her of leaking private messages to the press. She denied it, but those close to them say he never fully trusted her again. One night, according to a neighbor, the two were heard shouting in their Hollywood apartment. The next morning, moving trucks were seen outside. She left. LAROI didn't. His mother, who had always been his biggest supporter, reportedly flew from Australia to check on him. A neighbor later told a gossip reporter that she was seen crying outside his home. She looked broken, the witness said, like she didn't know what else to do. The industry, meanwhile, moved on, at least on the surface. Other artists released albums, new stars rose, and the kid who once topped charts began fading from memory. But behind the scenes, whispers continued. There were claims that LAROI had clashed with a major executive at his label over unpaid royalties. One source even alleged that the executive threatened to bury his career if he didn't fall in line, and that might have been the final straw. One night, at a private industry event in Los Angeles, LAROI reportedly confronted that very executive. According to someone who was there, things got physical. LAROI was furious, the witness said. He told him, "You can't own me. I'm not your product." Security had to pull them apart. The next morning, LAROI was gone. His team released a vague statement a few days later, saying he was taking time to focus on his mental health and creative growth. But fans didn't buy it. They knew something was off. LAROI wasn't just taking a break, he was running from something. And yet, amid all the chaos, small traces of him began to surface in strange places. A photo of him in a remote Australian town, spotted by a fan who swore he saw LAROI buying groceries in a hoodie and sunglasses. Another claimed to have seen him in Thailand performing under a fake name at a local club. None of these sightings were ever confirmed. But they kept the mystery alive. In a now-deleted TikTok, a producer who once worked with LAROI hinted that he found out something he wasn't supposed to. When fans pressed for details, the video disappeared. No one could find the original file. And the producer refused to comment further. By this point, even his friends in the industry began to distance themselves. One popular rapper who had once called LAROI his little brother unfollowed him on social media. Fans speculated about a falling out, especially after cryptic lyrics appeared in that rapper's next song. "You switched sides when the lights went low." Was that a reference to LAROI? Nobody knew for sure, but the internet ran with it. And as the silence grew longer, the theories grew wilder. Some believed LAROI was trapped in a toxic contract he couldn't escape from. Others thought he joined a secret collective of artists planning to expose corruption in the industry. But the most chilling theory came from a so-called whistleblower who claimed LAROI had evidence of massive fraud within his label and had gone into hiding after receiving threats. It all sounded like something out of a movie, but the timing, the vanishing act, and the sudden lockdown on all his accounts made it feel real enough to believe. And maybe that's why fans couldn't let it go. Because the Kid LAROI wasn't just another artist, he was a story, a symbol of raw talent that burned too fast. People needed answers, and they weren't getting any. A few months after his disappearance, an unreleased track leaked online. It was unfinished, raw, and haunting. The chorus repeated one line over and over. "They tried to steal my soul." No one knew when it was recorded or how it got out, but it reignited everything. Fans dissected every lyric, every beat, trying to decode a message. Some swore he was warning them. Others thought it was a goodbye. But just as the internet exploded with theories again, something even stranger happened. One of his producers, someone who had gone completely silent since LAROI vanished, posted a single word on Twitter: "Soon." And that's where the mystery deepened. Because after that post, he too disappeared. No tweets, no statements, no sign of life. The Kid LAROI's story had stopped making sense. The deeper people looked, the more it seemed like no one wanted the truth to come out. And that was just the beginning. Weeks after the producer's mysterious disappearance, the internet became obsessed with connecting the dots. Fans started building entire timelines, combing through old interviews, leaked snippets, and even stage photos to find clues. What they uncovered only deepened the mystery. A fan forum claimed to have discovered that the producer who vanished had been working on a project with LAROI, titled Exit Plan. No official record of it existed anywhere, not on label logs, not in copyright database, but screenshots of studio sessions, text messages, and snippets of text messages, and snippets of text audio began circulating. One of those leaked snippets had LAROI's voice saying, "They think they own me, but I already left." That one line set the internet ablaze. People began theorizing that LAROI had planned his disappearance months before it happened. One post went viral claiming he'd been buying property in remote parts of Australia under an alias. Another alleged he had been spotted on a private flight bound for New Zealand, paid for in cash under a false name. It sounded crazy, but the flight record existed. The name wasn't his, but the initials were Dot. Meanwhile, insiders started to crack under pressure. A former label intern posted on social media that she had seen the emails and that the truth would ruin careers. The post was deleted within hours, but screenshots spread across Twitter and Reddit. Soon after, her account was suspended. Fans began tagging major media outlets demanding answers, but no one picked up the story. It was as if every trace of it was being erased in real time. LAROI's old friend Josh resurfaced online around this time, posting a teary video where he admitted he'd been warned not to talk. "They told me to keep quiet," he said, voice shaking. "They said if I kept digging, I'd regret it. But I can't just stay silent anymore." LAROI wasn't just done with music, he was scared. Really scared? He paused before adding, "And if something happens to me, just know I tried." That video was viewed millions of times before Josh suddenly deleted his account. Rumors spread that Josh had been flown out of the country. Some said he went into hiding, others believed worse. Days later, a new YouTube channel appeared, posting an anonymous video claiming to be a friend of LAROI. The voice was distorted, the face blurred. The person in the video said, "He found out what happens when you question the wrong people. It's not just about money, it's about control. They'll do anything to keep their image clean." By now, the narrative had shifted from gossip to something darker. Fans began accusing LAROI's label of silencing him, of forcing him out because he knew too much. Some even suggested that his disappearance was staged to protect him. What was once a fan theory was now a full-blown movement. With hashtags like #FindLAROI and #LAROIExposed trending daily. And then, out of nowhere, came the voice note. A TikTok user claimed they received an airdrop from an unknown number while at a nightclub in Sydney. The file, named message.mp3, contained what sounded like LAROI's voice. "If you hear this," it said, "just know I didn't leave because I wanted to. I had to." His tone was low, shaky, almost paranoid. "They told me if I speak, I'd disappear. I thought it was a threat. Now I know it's a promise." The video went viral instantly, hitting millions of views in hours before being mysteriously removed. The user's account was wiped clean, and soon after, her followers reported receiving strange messages warning them to stop spreading lies. It only fueled the fire. Fans began organizing online, pooling information and tracking supposed sightings. One Reddit group claimed they had pieced together his travel trail from Los Angeles to Singapore, and then to a small Australian coastal town called Lennox Head. Someone even posted blurry drone footage of a man resembling LAROI walking along the beach late at night. But before anyone could verify it, the footage was taken down after a copyright claim. And then there was the festival incident. A massive hip-hop festival in Brisbane was underway when, during a set change, an instrumental began playing over the speakers, a beat unmistakably LAROI's. The crowd erupted, thinking he was making his comeback. Lights dimmed, smoke filled the stage, and a silhouette appeared for a brief moment before security rushed the platform and the feed cut to black. Organizers later said it was a technical glitch, but fans weren't buying it. One concert-goer swore she saw him. "He was right there," she said. "Hoodie up, mic in hand." He said, "They can't keep me quiet." Then everything went dark. After that night, strange things started happening. Fan pages received copyright strikes on any posts mentioning his disappearance. Journalists who had been covering the story suddenly stopped responding to emails. Even his Spotify profile began showing weird activity tracks appearing and disappearing. Playlist names changing to cryptic. Phrases like "check the mirror" and "there." Watching. It felt like LAROI was trying to communicate. From wherever he was, then came the email. Leaked. An anonymous hacker claimed to have accessed confidential correspondence between LAROI's management and executives. In the leaked messages, one line stood out: "Contain the situation, his narrative must stay controlled." The emails also referenced a project labeled Phase 2, though no one could confirm what it meant. Some speculated it was part of a rebranding campaign. Others feared it was something much worse. By this point, public opinion had turned against the label. Angry fans began boycotting artists associated with it, demanding transparency. The label's CEO released a statement saying, "We wish LAROI nothing but the best and hope for his healthy return to music." But people noticed how carefully worded it was. Return. Not come back healthy, not safe. Every word felt rehearsed, behind the scenes. Things were reportedly falling apart. One of LAROI's former bodyguards did an interview on a small podcast, claiming that LAROI had been followed for weeks before disappearing. "He told me he was being watched," the guard said. "He'd show me texts from random numbers saying things like, 'We warned you.' It wasn't normal. I told him to get out of the country." The bodyguard said that just before LAROI vanished, he received one final message from him. It read, "If anything happens to me, tell them I tried." Meanwhile, back in Australia, locals in a small coastal area began reporting sightings again. A gas station attendant claimed he sold cigarettes and a bottle of water to a young man who looked exactly like LAROI. "He didn't talk much," the attendant said. "But when he paid, I noticed his hand shaking. He looked terrified." Reporters rushed to the town, but by the time they arrived, he was gone. All that was left behind was a discarded hoodie one, identical to the one LAROI had been seen wearing in his last Instagram post. Then something truly bizarre happened. An anonymous Dropbox link began circulating online, containing a folder labeled LAROI Files. Inside were photos, half-written lyrics, and journal entries. The entries were chilling. One read, "They promised me freedom but built me a cage." Another said, "Music was supposed to save me. Instead, it trapped me." The authenticity of the files couldn't be verified, but they felt real, too personal, too raw. One particular entry stood out. Dated just a week before his disappearance, it read, "They're planning something big. I won't be part of it. If they find this, I'm already gone." And then came the biggest twist yet. A voice note surfaced on an underground hip-hop blog, supposedly recorded during a secret meeting between LAROI and another major artist. In the clip, the other artist could be heard saying, "If you go through with this, they'll destroy you," LAROI responded. "Then they'll have to find me first." The voice was unmistakably his dot, and that's when people began to realize that LAROI might not have disappeared by accident. He might have orchestrated it all himself. The kid who was once controlled by the machine might have just figured out how to escape it. But if he really did plan it, where was he now? And why had he stayed silent for so long? The next chapter of the mystery was about to begin, and it would shake the entire industry to its core. In the months that followed, the world of hip-hop seemed to fall into a strange silence whenever the name Kid LAROI was mentioned. Nobody wanted to talk, and those who did always seemed nervous, like they were being listened to. Every time a journalist tried to investigate, stories were pulled, sources vanished, and emails went unanswered. But the fans refused to give up. They weren't ready to let the world forget about the kid who had once been its biggest promise. Then, out of nowhere, a live stream appeared on a private Instagram account with only a few dozen followers. The title read, "He's Alive." The video showed a dark room, lit only by the glow of a laptop screen. Someone with their hood up sat facing the camera. It was hard to see their face clearly, but the voice quiet, strained. Unmistakably, LAROI spoke just 6 words. "They think I'm gone. I'm not." Then the feed cut out. The internet lost its mind. Within minutes, screen recordings were all over Twitter and Reddit. Fans slowed down the footage, comparing the voice to old interviews, matching background noises, even analyzing the shape of the hands in the frame. It was him. It had to be. But the mystery deepened when the account that posted the stream disappeared completely. Wiped from the platform within an hour, theories started spinning faster than ever. Some fans believed LAROI was using burner accounts to leak clues. Others thought someone else was pretending to be him, manipulating the public for attention. But then a message appeared on a forgotten fan forum, an old one that LAROI himself had used before fame. The post read, "Truth comes in pieces. Follow the noise." It was signed with the emoji he used to include in his tweets back in his early days, a small lightning bolt. People began combing through his unreleased music, searching for messages. One fan swore that if you played a certain leaked demo backwards, you could hear him whisper, "They can't silence me forever." Another discovered that when you lined up the timestamps of his deleted posts, they spelled out coordinates leading to an abandoned recording studio in Los Angeles. A small group of fans actually went there. What they found would become one of the most talked about discoveries in internet history. Inside the dust-covered studio was a USB drive taped under a mixing console. Written on it in Sharpie were the letters K.L. The fans uploaded the contents anonymously. And what they found was unbelievable: 3 unreleased songs, each darker and more emotional than anything LAROI had ever released. In one of them, his voice cracked as he sang, "I traded my heart for gold, but they wanted my soul instead." Another track contained a short spoken word outro. "You can take my name, my fame, my face, but not my truth." The song spread across the internet like wildfire. Millions listened, cried, speculated. But just as suddenly, the tracks vanished from every platform. Copyright strikes hit hard and fast, and every re-upload was removed within hours. Someone didn't want the world hearing them, and then came the reappearance of an old face, his ex-girlfriend. She had been silent since the breakup, but now she posted a cryptic TikTok where she held up a note that said, "He told me not to say anything. I can't keep this secret anymore." Before she could post part 2, her account went dark. Fans tried reaching her, but she was gone. Even her friends claimed they hadn't heard from her in days. By now, this wasn't just a story about a missing artist, had become something out of a conspiracy thriller. Fans started to believe that LAROI was actively hiding from powerful people, maybe even people within his own team. And every time someone got close to revealing something, they disappeared too. Then, one night, a well-known Australian radio host broke the silence. On air, he claimed to have spoken to someone who had seen LAROI safe, but not free. He said he's living somewhere remote, off the grid, working on something big. But he doesn't trust anyone, not even his old friends. Within 24 hours, that segment was taken down, and the radio station issued an apology, saying the comments had been based on misinformation. But the host didn't back down. On his personal social media, he wrote, "I stand by what I said. They're scared because it's true." The post went viral, and fans flooded his comments, begging for more details. The next day, his account was deleted. By this point, even those who had once doubted the rumors began to wonder if something sinister was really happening. LAROI's mother, who had been silent for months, was photographed arriving at Sydney Airport looking distraught. When a journalist asked if she had spoken to her son, she simply said, "I just want him home," before breaking into tears. Meanwhile, another layer of the mystery began to unfold. A hacker collective calling themselves The Noise claimed responsibility for the cryptic posts and leaks. They said they were in contact with LAROI and helping him expose corruption in the industry. They released a statement saying, "He's not missing. He's fighting back." To prove it, they dropped screenshots of supposed emails between major label executives, discussing containment strategies and narrative control. One message even mentioned LAROI by name, referring to him as the liability. The leak was quickly taken down, but not before it was mirrored across thousands of fan accounts, as the world debated what was real and what wasn't. Something else emerged. A grainy video uploaded to YouTube under the title "Message from Nowhere" showed a figure sitting in a dimly lit room, wearing a hoodie and a chain identical to the one LAROI was known for. The voice, though distorted, carried a familiar emotion. The truth is bigger than music. It's about freedom. When they tell you someone disappeared, ask who benefits. The video ended with the words, "I'm almost ready." The clip was removed within hours. But it didn't matter, fans had already downloaded it, dissected it, spread it everywhere. News outlets finally began to take notice. One entertainment site published an article titled, "Where is the Kid LAROI?" The internet demands answers. Within days, major networks picked it up. The label responded again, calling the rumors dangerous conspiracy theories. They insisted that LAROI was taking personal time to focus on wellness and privacy. But nobody believed them anymore, especially when fans uncovered that the label had filed a new trademark under LAROI's name just days earlier, linked to a mysterious project called Ghost Sessions. Speculation went wild. Was Ghost Sessions an album? A documentary? Or was it something the label was creating without him? Fans analyzed every possible clue, but no one could confirm anything. Then, almost poetically, new graffiti began appearing in multiple cities. In Los Angeles, Sydney, London, and even Tokyo, 3 simple words sprayed in white paint. LAROI lives loud. Nobody knew who was behind it, but videos of the graffiti went viral, reigniting the movement. And that's when the leak stopped. Everything went quiet again. No more clues, no sightings, no messages. The world waited, watching every platform, every whisper. Some thought he was done forever. Others believed he was preparing for a comeback unlike anything the industry had ever seen. But silence, in the world of fame, is never really silent. Late one night, a strange Spotify playlist appeared under a user account with a name eerily similar to his childhood nickname. The playlist was called Phase 3, and every song on it had titles that felt like messages gone but not lost. Industry Ghost, Noise Forever. The final track in the list had no name, just a single symbol, a lightning bolt. When listeners clicked play, all they heard was Statican. A faint voice whispered through the distortion, "See you soon." And that was it. 3 words that sent chills down the spines of millions. Fans knew then that whatever was happening wasn't over. It was just the calm before the biggest storm of all. Because if LAROI really was alive, if he really had escaped the machine, then his return wouldn't just be a comeback. It would be a revolution. And somewhere out there, hidden from the cameras, the kid who disappeared from hip-hop was preparing to make the entire world listen again. Months passed. The world waited in silence. The Kid LAROI had become more myth than man, his name whispered in online chat rooms, his face appearing in grainy photos that no one could confirm were real. Journalists kept digging. Influencers milked the mystery for clout. And fans loyal, restless fans refused to let go. Every little flicker of information sent the internet spiraling again. But no one could separate truth from illusion anymore. Then, out of nowhere, a SoundCloud account with no followers uploaded a single track titled Echo. The uploader's name was just a symbol. The song started with a distorted piano loop. And then, in that unmistakable voice, LAROI began to sing. "They buried my name, but the echo remains. But the echo remains." The track sent shockwaves across the internet. Within hours, it had millions of plays. People analyzed every word, convinced it was his coded confession. Halfway through the track, the beat cut out and his voice spoke softly, almost like he was talking directly to his fans. "They thought they could erase me. They thought I'd fade. But I've been here the whole time, watching, waiting." The upload vanished within 6 hours. But it was too late. The song had spread everywhere. Fans clipped it, remixed it, uploaded backups. The world was listening again. A week later, posters began appearing across major cities. Plain black backgrounds, white text, and that same lightning bolt symbol. Underneath, one phrase: "The Kid returns." No logos, no sponsors, no credits. People took photos, posted them online, and before long, the hashtag the Kid returns was trending worldwide. The industry panicked. LAROI's old label issued a statement saying they had no involvement in the posters, and that any upcoming projects were unauthorized. That only made fans more convinced that this Was really him that the Kid LAROI was taking back control of his story. Then a major leak hit Reddit. Screenshots of an email exchange between anonymous producers referencing a secret concert in an undisclosed location. Invite only. The message included one line that froze everyone reading it. Performer has confirmed codename Lightning. Rumors spread like wildfire. Some said the concert would happen in Australia, others in LA. Still, thousands of fans gathered in both cities, camping out in hope. And then one Friday night, something extraordinary happened in Sydney. An abandoned warehouse on the outskirts suddenly lit up. Projections of lightning bolts flickered across the walls, and a small stage rose from the ground. No one had been invited. Fans had simply followed the clues. The lights dimmed, a hush fell over the crowd, and a single figure stepped into the spotlight. Hood up, head low, chain glinting under the lights. The room erupted. Screams, tears, chaos. It was him. The Kid LAROI. He didn't speak at first. He just stood there, taking in the crowd's roar, eye-scanning faces that had waited years for this moment. Finally, he grabbed the mic and said, "You can't cancel what's already free." The crowd exploded. The bass dropped, and the beat of echo thundered through the warehouse. The energy was unreal. Electric, like rebellion-made sound. Fans live-streamed the whole thing, and within minutes, the internet broke. Twitter crashed. YouTube froze. Millions watched the rebirth of the artist who had vanished between songs. He spoke in fragments like pieces of a puzzle he was finally ready to share. "They wanted control," he said. "They wanted my silence. But I found my voice again, and it's louder than ever." Tears rolled down fans' faces. Even those who didn't understand the full story could feel the weight of what he was saying. This wasn't just music anymore, it was war. But just when it felt like the night couldn't get more intense, the feed cut out. Every live stream went black. People inside the warehouse reported a sudden power outage, followed by loud shouting. When the lights came back on, LAROI was gone. Panic spread instantly. Some fans claimed he'd been escorted out by security. Others said he'd left through a hidden door. The entire event ended abruptly, and within an hour, the venue was cleared out. The next morning, news sites called it a hoax, claiming the performer was an impersonator. But fans who had been there swore it was real. One girl posted a photo of her hand holding a set list she said LAROI had thrown into the crowd. On the corner of the paper were 2 words scrawled in ink: Phase 4. From that moment, everything shifted. A YouTube channel with the same lightning bolt symbol began uploading short video static clips. Fragments of beats, snippets of lyrics. When stitched together, they formed a sentence. The truth drops when they stop watching. Every clip disappeared after 24 hours. Fans realized something big was coming. Countdown websites began popping up, each claiming to be the official timer for his next move. Even celebrities started chiming in. One rapper tweeted, "He's back," and they're scared. And then 3 weeks later, the unthinkable happened. Spotify updated his artist page with a single track titled "The End of Silence." No promo, no announcement. Just the song sitting there quietly, waiting. When it dropped, it shattered every streaming record within hours. The lyrics were brutal, confessional, and full of coded jabs at the industry. "You signed my name, but not my life," he rapped. "You built my cage with $signs." Halfway through the song, his tone softened. "I'm free now. I walked away. This is for the ones who stayed." The outro hit harder than anyone expected. His voice broke as he said, "This isn't a comeback. It's revenge." Fans flooded comment sections with tears, pride, and rage. Some felt vindicated, proof that he had never really left, only escaped. Others feared for him, wondering if his reappearance would provoke those who'd tried to silence him. Media outlets scrambled to secure interviews, but none succeeded. His label remained silent, while insiders claimed he was operating independently from an undisclosed location. Then, a week after the release, One final video appeared on his YouTube channel, his first post in nearly 2 years. It opened with black and white footage of city lights. Then cut to LAROI sitting alone in a studio. He looked older, calmer, scarred. "You watched them try to erase me," he said quietly, "but you can't delete truth. I left because I had to. I came back because you never stopped believing." He paused, looking directly into the camera, eyes full of emotion. "Music saved me once. Maybe now it can save someone else." The video ended with a single line of text: Phase 4, freedom. And that was it. No announcement, no press, no marketing campaign, just that message. Fans called it the greatest comeback of all time. Critics hailed it as a new chapter for independent artists. But some still whispered that it wasn't over, that Phase 4 meant more than just freedom. That maybe the Kid LAROI had only revealed the beginning of something much bigger in the weeks that followed. His social media returned, one post at a time. Photos of recording sessions, handwritten lyrics, sunsets over Australian beaches. He captioned one image simply home. The hip-hop world had changed. Artists began speaking out about their own struggles with control and contracts. Movements started forming, inspired by his story. And even though no one knew the full truth, whether he had been silenced, hidden, or self-exiled, the message was clear. The Kid LAROI didn't disappear. He broke free. And now, with the world watching again, he was ready to tell his story his way. For the fans who never stopped searching, who pieced together the clues, who refused to let his name fade, he left one final note on his website. Written in small, simple text: "They tried to write my ending. I decided to start again. It's on somewhere out there." As the lights of the industry flickered and the noise of the world quieted for just a moment, the Kid LAROI smiled. Because sometimes disappearing isn't the end, it's the only way to truly begin. And that's the story that's left. The entire hip-hop world stunned. From his sudden disappearance to his explosive return, the Kid LAROI's journey has become one of the most talked about mysteries in music history. Was he really silenced by the industry? Did he plan his own vanishing act? Or is there still more to this story that we haven't seen yet? One thing's for sure, the truth is far deeper than anyone imagined. Far deeper than anyone imagined. Fans are still divided. Some believe LAROI's comeback was his way of exposing how toxic fame can be. Others think he's still out there, dropping hints and playing a long game to reveal something even bigger. Every lyric, every symbol, every coded message feels like another piece of a puzzle that only he knows how to finish. But what about you? What do you think really happened to the Kid LAROI? Was it rebellion, revenge, or maybe redemption? Tell us your theory in the comments, because this story isn't over until you have your say. And if you've been hooked from the very first moment, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another deep dive into the wild world of hip-hop's biggest mysteries. You've been watching the rise, the fall, and the rebirth of the Kid LAROI, where truth sounds louder than fame. Stay tuned, because the next chapter might drop sooner than anyone expects.